Good morning, folks. Frank Zorrilla here, Zorrilla Capital. Quick video in regards to the market, pre-market. Big news overnight was Facebook. They came out with their numbers. Stock closed at $217. Right now, printing $171.61. That's a huge drop. Right now, it's like a record-breaking loss of market cap overnight at $150 billion. The stock at a low last night of roughly 165, 164.30. So it's off the lows, but this is big. Now the key here is to see if it's going to affect the other markets. And so far, the IWM, it's actually up 8 cents pre-market. The SPYs, SPY, it's down $1 pre-market. DIA, Dow Jones, it's Dow Jones. DIA is actually up 54 cents. So far, it looks to be just somewhat tech related. Amazon, down roughly about 30 points. Google down about 12 points. So let's see how the market opens. But either way, I wanted to go over my watch list to see if we can find something today of interest. And based on what's going on with Facebook, I would be very concerned trying to chase the open if some of these stocks do trigger. And very simply, what I'm looking for is I'm looking for swing trades. I'm looking for stocks to go through the previous day high, and I'll put a buy stop 10 cents above the previous day high. For example, Fossil FSOL stock had a big move. It's heavily shorted. It's been going sideways to down, digesting a little bit for the last month and a half or so. The stock printed an inside day here. I like the stock going through 27.24. In a situation like this, what I'm doing is I'm putting a buy stop at 27.34 and a stop right over here at this low, call it $26 a share. And I'm looking for a for a momentum burst that might last roughly about anywhere between 3 to 5 days. TLGT, it's a little biotech stock, generic company. The stock has been flagging for roughly 8 months, sideways, decent base. Here it starts to tighten up. I like the stock going through yesterday's highs, which is 423, with a stop right over here, call it at 390. TSG, a little sloppy here lately, but it's got a great story that had some decent numbers. The stock printed an inside day. I like the stock going through 37.85. Like I said, in a situation like this, typically what I'm doing is I'm putting a buy stop at 37.95. And if the market goes through that level, then I'm in. If it doesn't, then I'm out, or I'm not in. It's just that simple. What I'm looking to do is just have my list all pre-market. Okay, have my numbers and how much I'm looking to buy, where I'm looking to buy, all that done pre-market. So that way, when the market finally opens, I'm trying to, make this as less emotional as possible. Okay, so here are my buy stop orders. If they get hit, great. If they don't, I'm not in, and I'll just wait for the next opportunity. But I'm looking to take the emotion out of the equation. One of the ways to do it is very simply just by doing everything, for the most part, pre-market. And just putting the orders in and allowing the market to do whatever it is that it's going to do, as far, besides seeing something moving up a lot in the day and seeing everyone talking about it on Twitter and then chasing it. That's not what we're looking to do here. SIEN had a recent breakout yesterday. I like this stock right over here. It's been going sideways for about a month and a half. Had a decent breakout. I like the stock here with a stop here at this low at 1990. Restoration Hardware, RH, this is a very tough stock to buy. It's heavily shorted, only has 7 million shares in the flow. It's a wild stock and moves up and moves down. It's got a big range. But it's found the floor right over here at the 132.5 level. I like the stock going through 137.99. If it does that, you're looking at the stock that's going to break the 10 and 20-day moving average for the first time in a while, specifically the 10-day moving average, which has been resistance for like over a month. So I like the stock going through 137.99, buy stop 138.09, stop right over here 133. Fran, here's a stock, a retail stock. Retail names are doing well. Here's a retail stock that's been trading sideways for roughly almost a year for the most part. And then here it's got a big move from 4 to roughly $8 a share, pretty much a double. You can call this a high tie flag for the, you can actually call this a high tie flag. Okay, goes from 5 to 8 up, whatever it is, almost 80%. It starts to retrace just a little bit, holds on to most of the gains, and it starts to tighten up. I like the stock going through $7.89, buy stop $7.99. You can put a stop right over here at $7.40. VSTM is a biotech stock, had a big move here the other day on some positive results. The stock has been trading sideways. I like the stock going through $7.97. MDGL, another stock that had a big move based on some positive FDA results. This is another stock that's got an extremely wide range. This is the VWAP from that big up day, which is right over here. It's acted as support already, right over here, right over here, and right over here. I like the stock going through the high, which is 276.81, with a stop here at the low of the day. You have to size these properly, and because the market is acting, because of Facebook, because we have a little bit of divergence as far as stocks are not doing as well as the averages are showing right now, you have to size these correctly. So maybe you don't go in with full size, maybe you pull back on the size and first allow some of these stocks to show you some gains before you get back to your normal size. And position sizing is extremely important. Stanley Black & Decker, SWK, this is a possible, character change. Here's a stock that broke down right over here at the beginning of the year, and ever since then you see the moving averages, the 10, the 20, and the 50 have been acting as resistance, and now they are starting to curl higher, and now they should act as support. We have flagged some of these change of character stocks over the last couple of days, and they tend to work well because very simply what it means is that there's been a seller, a constant seller who's been in control of the stock, and every time the stock has a little nice bump to these averages, he comes in and he sells. Here, either he's out of the way or the buyers are getting a little bit more aggressive, or both, and then what typically happens is that these averages now start to act as support. Just to give you a couple of examples, Melly, similar situation that we flagged just the other day right over here. Moving averages acting as resistance for a long time, finally breaks, and then it's off to the races. EWZ, similar situation, 10-20 day moving averages acting as resistance. They finally start to curl, and now they're acting as support. MXC, it's a little oil stock. This is one of these oil stocks. When oil is doing extremely well, this is one of these little pump stocks. They pump them up and they have these big candles. I mean, this stock's been trading sideways for a year, a little over a year. I just have it on my screen just in case the volume starts to pick up. The high yesterday was 605. So it's one of these little oil stocks that just runs every now and then when oil is doing well. DK, oil refining stock. The oil stocks, the commodity stocks, when they trend, they actually start. When they trend on the upside and also the downside. Look how this stock trended here from March all the way up to May. Rode the 10-day and 20-day moving average, and then once it broke, they acted as resistance, and now it looks like they're getting back above. I like this stock going through 49.36 with a stop right over here, 47.60. So again, Facebook, that's a big story of the day. Big gap down from 217 down to 171. The question is whether it's going to spill over to the other indices, the IWM, the Dow Jones. So far, that's not been the case. Maybe will only be Facebook related. Maybe will only be NASDAQ 100 related. We don't know yet. But either way, we've seen some divergences in the market underneath the surface, so you have to size your positions correctly. And due to what's going on with the market and my rolling 5-day watch list, which has not been acting that well, you should size accordingly, and you should size down if you get any triggers today.